Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I want to talk today for a couple minutes about the issue of discernment. Discernment is this kind of deciding or separating between right and wrong, what's true and false, right? As one person put it, it's eating the meat and spitting out the bones. It's saying this is good, I want to take it in and accept it and affirm it. This is bad, I want to reject it, dismiss it, right? So it's pretty simple. I think we all have instinctually an idea what discernment is, but I think there's a version of discernment in our world today that is really dangerous. And it's that version where it's kind of a blind discernment. It's not discernment based on thought and examining of scripture. It's not discernment based on carefully understanding another's point of view. It's discernment based on our tribe. Who's speaking? It's discernment that doesn't take in what's good. It simply just dismisses everything as bad. Or it accepts everything as good, depending on who it's coming from, depending on maybe what my mood is, depending on what the topic is and what's important to me within that topic. And so I'll just pick what's important to me in that topic, and if you say what I like in that topic, I'll accept everything you say and act like nothing was bad. If you say the most important thing and I don't like what you said about this most important thing to me in the topic, I will just dismiss everything you say, even if you said some things that were right and true. And this kind of blind, just thoughtless discernment isn't real discernment. So think about a couple of verses here. Proverbs 18, two verses in Proverbs 18. First, Proverbs 18:13 says this: if one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame. Think about that. Before he hears. How often do we do that? Oh, they're saying it. I'm not even going to hear the whole thing. I'm not even going to look for where they might be right. I'm just going to give an answer that they're wrong. That's it, right? Or it could be the other way, right? You give an answer before you really hear, right? Listen to verse 17 as well. The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. So you have this situation where we often stop, where we only hear the first case, or we only hear the case that we like and are familiar with and kind of is in our tribe or on our side, and we don't hear the other side. We don't really hear, we don't really listen. And so this is a call to say, no, if we're going to be discerning, we should be able to find the bad, the error, the untruth in our tribe, right? We should be able to be discerning even when the people on our side are speaking. We should be able to say, oh, I agree with most of that, and that's normal for me. I agree with the people that I generally see as being on my side. But I can see the error here in their argument. I can see that they said this isn't right. And on the flip side, not only should I be able to see the error on in my tribe, I should be able to see the good or the truth in the other tribe. If I can never see the truth spoken by the other tribe, I might not be discerning. I might just be using this kind of blind discernment, right? So I should be able to say, I disagree with you on a lot of stuff, but that point was right on. And that point made me rethink this part of my view of that topic, right? So this kind of blind discernment where we just blindly reject everything from one side and blindly accept everything from another side, that's not real discernment. It's not seeing the right, it's not seeing the bad, it's simply seeing the sides, right? So think about a couple of reasons we do this. For one, I think it's often an excuse not to do the hard work of listening, right? It's harder to listen carefully, to listen to both sides. It's harder to think about exactly what the points are and the arguments being made, and maybe even if it's a theological thing about the biblical texts, and it takes more work. And so often this is an excuse not to do that. I'll just dismiss somebody because they're not on the right side. So it's harder to do that. Sometimes our blind, quote unquote, discernment of dismissing people is just an excuse not to listen and do that hard work. Often also it's an excuse to leave my sin or maybe my weak spot alone. So that the other, quote unquote, side might make a great point, but they're on the other side, so I've just dismissed it, and then I don't have to deal with maybe the weaknesses of my position or of the what place I take. So think about this with regards to, say, abortion, right? Like I'm rock solid that abortion is an evil before God. It's a sin against him and his image. We're killing innocent babies. I believe there's forgiveness for that. There's grace, cleansing, but it is evil. Now, people on the other side of the abortion position, I think they're wrong. They're not on my side, but they'll bring up things like, well, you only care for mothers before their babies and babies before they're born. You don't care for them after. And I could just dismiss and say, hey, like you're about aborting babies. That's murder. I'm not even going to listen to anything you say, right? Or I could say, well, you have a point. Not that abortion's okay. You have a point that we do need to be, if I'm valuing life, if I say I'm valuing life, then I need to be on the front lines of showing that after the baby's born, of helping these mothers, of providing what I can for these babies. So I need to be willing to accept that when it's truth, even if it doesn't change the big question, I can accept it there. And so I want to make sure that I'm not using this blind discernment to just dismiss people and not receive what is good from their argument and kind of hide my sin or my weakness. Another thing that this blind discernment can be is that it often is an excuse to demonize the other side and lift up myself, right? So I can demonize, they're idiots, what's wrong with them? And then I kind of feel like I'm smart, I'm a genius, I know it all, and it just feeds my pride. That kind of blind discernment where I can just, man, I've got the truth and you guys are a bunch of idiots. It doesn't bring me the kind of humility that Christ displayed and that the Spirit works in our hearts, right? So I think that's important. We love the truth. We love the truth. We don't love just being or feeling right. We don't love just owning the other side. We love the truth. Why? We love the truth because it reflects the character of our God. We love the truth because the truth allows us to know him, what he's like. We love the truth because it lets us know what his will is. We love the truth because it's about him. It's from him. It reflects him. It leads us to him. It shows us how to please him. We love the truth. So we don't love our tribe as much as we love our God, and we love the truth that he's revealed. And so let's do the hard work of being genuinely discerning, of listening hard, of carefully examining Scripture, of being willing to think, of affirming others where they're right, and winsomely, gently pointing out where they're wrong. We want to be careful and biblical in the way that we're discerning. So hope that's helpful. That can be applied to all sorts of issues in our day and discussions. And we as Christians need to be live differently in this area. The world is all about the blind discernment, whatever side you're coming from. Let's live differently because we love our neighbors, and most of all, we love our God. So hope that's helpful. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.